Okay, we will call this meeting to order, 6:01. Let me review who's on the meeting. So for school committee, we have myself, Claudine Panday. We have Lee Kissinger, Terry Donovan, Cheryl Green, Diane Allen, Paul McFadden. Administrators, we have Dave Baranakis, our superintendent. We have Bob Ross, director of administration. Jeremy Taylor, our director of technology. And we have legal counsel Andrew Hennius. Okay. Before we get started, I'm going to just review a couple housekeeping items because we've been doing this for a while now. So just going to kind of refresh everybody's memories. And also doing them for a while, there's some stuff that's come up. One thing is the muting of all of ourselves when we're not speaking. So there's some feedback happening and it's kind of hard to hear sometimes. So I'm going to respectfully ask that the school committee members, administrators, keep yourselves muted when you're not speaking. If you're on a Zoom, you can find the mute function somewhere on your screen. And then if you're on the call, you can hit *6. For school committee members, if you'd like to speak, I'm going to ask you to please use the raise hand function. I know we went over this before, so let's try to do that. It keeps everything a little bit more organized. So if you're on Zoom, you're going to have to locate it. Mine is under participants, but everybody's different. If you're on the call, it's *9. And then I can see the raise hands next to your name, so I'll acknowledge you on that. Let's see. I don't see any members from the public, but oh, yep, we do. We've got Andrea Monroe on. So let me just go over this for members of the public. We did disable the chat the last meeting. I did not know what to do with the chat, so I disabled the chat. It's not good to have that in a public meeting because no one can see it. So Jeremy disabled it. So during open forum or during an agenda item, if you'd like to speak, if you could also use your raise hand function. And again, you'll have to locate that. I know if you're on the phone, it's *9. And then *6 mutes and unmutes you. So I will acknowledge you during open forum. And then again, after the school committee speaks on any agenda item, I will acknowledge you at that time if your hand is raised. Okay, that's my housekeeping stuff for the day. Open forum. So comments must be directed to the chairperson of the school committee, who may limit or terminate a discussion. No comment should address personnel, litigation, or negotiations as restricted by open meeting regulations. The school committee cannot take action or vote on topics introduced that are not reflected on the agenda. So if anyone would like to speak on something not on the agenda from the public, you can raise your hand. If you're on the phone, you can hit *9 and I will acknowledge you. Okay, I think everybody's good. Amy, did you join us? I see Amy as an attender. Is that Amy Gardner?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so member Gardner's on the meeting also. Okay, good. All right, we will go to the consent agenda.
Okay, under consent, we have the approval of the regular meeting minutes from September 8th. We have our final certified appointment for a nurse at the junior senior high school. We do have a sub that is in there that started on day 1, and she will remain until our new individual can start. The anticipated start date is October 5th. We have a leave of absence, which I actually received prior, but it kind of got lost in the email shuffle. But this is a leave of absence that was given to me in the summertime for one of the recess assistants. We also have our monthly bills, and then we have several families, some returning and some new families for homeschool approvals.
Any comments or questions on the consent agenda? Amy, I know that we have to pull the minutes because you weren't at the last meeting. Other than
Yeah.
that, yep. Okay, I don't see any hands raised. Everybody's good? Okay, so if we can have a motion to approve the consent agenda, less the meeting minutes.
So moved.
Donovan, second.
Okay, Member Kissinger moved, Member Donovan seconded. I'll take a roll call vote. Member Kissinger,
Aye.
Member Donovan,
Aye.
Member Green,
Aye.
Member Allen,
Aye.
Member McFadden,
Aye.
and Member Gardner.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And then if I can have a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September 8th.
So moved.
Member Kissinger moved. Do we have a second? Member
Donovan,
Donovan seconded.
second.
Okay, Member Donovan seconded. I'll take a roll call vote. Member Kissinger,
Aye.
Member Donovan,
Aye.
Member Green,
Aye.
Member Allen,
Aye.
Member McFadden,
Aye.
Member Gardner.
Abstain.
Okay, and I'm an aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Jim, you want to introduce
Yes.
three?
So Teresa, it's official. You've just been appointed. Teresa is going to join us as the registered school nurse at the junior senior high school. She has a pretty long career in nursing in the hospitals and currently pursuing a doctorate in nursing practice, healthcare systems leadership. She really worked with the hospital in the transition required to be COVID ready. So she has quite a bit of experience that she brings to the schools. Teresa is a parent of a student in our school, and I think also a graduate.
Two students.
We have two
and a
students
Graduate.
and a graduate. And she is a resident of West Greenwich. So we are super happy to have her join us. And I know that she's going to be an amazing addition to the junior senior high school staff. So welcome.
Thank you.
Teresa.
Hello.
Welcome, Teresa.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
October 5th can't come soon enough.
I know, I'm ready.
Okay, let's see. We'll move on to item E. So we have correspondence. We have the 2020-21 EWG Fall Athletic Teams preliminary membership numbers. We have the 2019-20 group home expenses. And we have a memo from legal counsel regarding town approvals of our CBAs. So before I ask for questions or comments, I just want to speak on item number 3, memo from legal counsel regarding town approval of CBAs, just so you know why it's on there. And Robin, I'm going to ask you to make this part of the record. So the legal memo was requested by myself as a school committee chair because there was an incorrect information stated at the September 9th West Greenwich Town Council meeting by the town manager. He stated that school committee CBAs must be approved by the towns and that this was done in the past and not with the last CBA. So I thought that was a really important issue to get resolved and corrected for the public, as it's not a correct statement. So I asked legal counsel to prepare a memo with the citing the obviously the law and in our charter. So you have that in our packet. And then I apologize for this getting out late, but the draft memo to the West Greenwich Town Council and the town manager with the Exeter Town Council copied for informational purposes. I wanted everybody to see that. I'm sending out as a school committee chair. I have Lee also being a sending member of that memo, as he was in attendance at that town council meeting. So everybody take a look at that, along with the attached legal memo. I'd like to get that out tomorrow if I can. Paul, you have a lot of feedback coming from your phone. So if you're not speaking, if you don't mind muting yourself.
Who, me? I'm not saying anything.
No, there's a lot of feedback coming when you're not muted.
What's feedback?
The microphone can hear your speaker on your phone. So we can hear ourselves be playing back.
Thank you. Okay, I guess is there any questions or comments on correspondence 3? Let's just start with that one, because I spoke on it, and then if we can go to the other 2 items. Okay, Member McFadden, go ahead.
Was there any votes taken by the West Greenwich Town Council on this subject?
I was not in attendance at that meeting, so I do not know.
Was Member Kissinger at the meeting?
Member Kissinger was at the meeting. There were no votes taken on the subject. It was
All right, thanks.
commentary.
All right, so no votes. Thanks.
Okay, everybody looks good. Andrew, am I okay with a consensus with the memo? If nobody has any questions or comments, I can just go ahead and send that out tomorrow.
I think if you just advise it, did you shared with the committee that was your intent to send that to the?
Yes. To
Yeah.
the town, yep.
Cool.
It'll go to the town council, the town manager, Exeter Town Council, and then the school committee members will be CC'd along with Jim.
Yep, I mean, that's your act as chair, that's fine.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, do we have any questions or comments on the other 2 pieces of correspondence? Paul, your hand is still raised, so I'm not quite sure if you have more comments or if you're all set.
Do I have to disable that somehow? Is it *9 to disable it?
Yes, you can disable it, or Claudine can disable
What
it.
do I do?
Acknowledge.
I can click on
All
it.
right, so let me *9 and make sure it goes down.
Yeah,
Well, I tried *9 and it says I'm trying to speak, which I'm really not. So I don't know what the deal is.
You're all set. I lowered it for you.
you're all set, Paul. You took care of it. Okay. We have the 2020-21 budget. Anything on that, Bob?
No, I have nothing on that. I'll have my first projection in the next school meeting in October.
Very good. We have new business. We have.
Okay, I
the
put my hand up.
2020
I put my hand up.
Yep, go ahead, Paul.
So, Bob, I think October 1st, the Rhode Island Department of Ed requires us to give the preliminary student breakdowns, which town. Can we, in the next school committee meeting, get the preliminary data to the student breakdowns in that meeting?
Yeah, we usually report the October one, and then by policy, we spend the next few weeks to a month ironing it out, but we've gotten much better, so we'll have that at the next meeting.
All right, thanks.
Anyone else on the budget? Okay, we have new business, the 2021 school committee meeting dates. Jim, let's see, I think.
Yeah, so there is an enclosure, and we are basically sticking with the same schedule that we've maintained for the past many years, with just some modifications in June. There is a school committee meeting on the Wednesday. That's because of a conflict with one of the town council's meetings, I think in Exeter. We do one meeting in July. We've scheduled 2 in August, the second one if needed, and that's really for staffing appointments. And then we always do just 1 in December because of the holidays. So no change to the structure of the calendar.
Any questions or comments on the calendar? Everybody's good? Okay. So we will take a vote on that. So I need a motion to approve the 2021 school committee meeting dates.
So moved.
Kissinger moved. Do we have a second?
Donovan, second.
Donovan, second. Okay, we'll take a roll call vote. Member Kissinger,
Aye.
Member Donovan,
Aye.
Member Green,
Aye.
Member Allen,
Aye.
Member McFadden,
Aye.
Member Gardner.
Aye.
Okay, and I'm an aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, under new business also, we have the approval of the 2021-22 budget development timeline. Diane, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Jim, go ahead.
Again, this schedule is consistent with the timeline that's defined in our charter and in our policies. We get a lot of input from Robin, who really helps to manage this process with us. So everything is scheduled typically as we always do during the budget process. And it will begin very shortly, even though I feel like we're not done the last year's budget yet, but the process starts over again. October 26th, we send materials to the administrators to start. I mean, I don't know if there are any questions. It's the same schedule with the same events as we've typically had. Did we lose Claudine?
It would appear so.
Looks like it, yeah.
Maybe give it a minute, Mr. Superintendent, and then if not, Vice Chair can pick up.
Sure.
She's back.
Sorry, I don't know why my computer does that, but it cuts me off. Did I miss anything? Lee, did you carry on or did you guys wait for me?
We waited.
Okay, all right. Hold on,
Wait.
I gotta click on, oh, my screen changed. Let's see. Okay. Any questions or comments on the budget timeline? Good. Okay. So if we can have a motion to approve the 2020-21 budget timeline.
So moved.
Kissinger moved. Do we have a second?
Second, Donovan.
Okay, we'll take a roll call vote. Member Kissinger,
Aye.
Member Donovan,
Aye.
Member Green,
Aye.
Member Allen. Diane, you probably have to unmute yourself. Diane. There you go.
Aye.
Thank you. Member McFadden,
Aye.
Member Gardner. I don't see Amy on. Maybe she
Yeah,
left.
she may have popped off as well, Madam Chair.
Okay, all right,
Or been disconnected, I should say.
disconnected, okay. All right, I'm an aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we have unfinished business. We have the 2020-21 reentry planning update.
Okay, so we've now been in school for 7 days of in-person learning. And what was that?
Hey, Dad.
Oh, boy. Aiden, Daddy's on a meeting, okay? I'll call you right back when I'm done.
What'd you hear? What'd you say?
I'm on a meeting. I'll call you back when I'm done, okay? I'm on a meeting,
Okay, what time are you gonna be done?
probably in 30 minutes.
Okay, so do you want me to call you at 7?
I'll call you.
No, I'll call you.
Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
7.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye.
7.
7? Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Alexa, hang up.
Sorry. That's why I didn't recognize it. It was Alexa behind. I don't even know how to work that thing. Anyway. So 7 days of in-person learning, and I have to say that everything has gone very smoothly. We actually started with full reentry at the elementary school. I know many districts are doing kind of a staggered entry. We didn't do that. We welcomed all of the kids from K through 6 starting on the first day. We had probably about 70 families that initially did not feel comfortable sending their children in for in-person learning all of the days of the week. We are now down to less than a page of those children that the families have requested that their children go in for the 5 days. And a lot of comments about how positive they feel the reentry process has been. Our children are wearing their masks. It has not been a problem at all grade levels up to the high school. We're doing temperature checks in the morning. That is working really well. We have that down to a science at this point. The teachers really put that plan in place and made it happen for us. The only struggle that we identified really was at the junior, senior high school, and it had to do with lunches. And part of the reason is a lot of the kids are choosing not to eat lunch because of the dismissal time. So, we are dismissing kids early based on the addition of the bus tier, and we needed time for the buses to be able to get to the elementary for the early tier. And so we are dismissing the secondary students an hour early to make that happen. It also provides a nice time for the secondary teachers to be able to hold office hours with the kids that are on in their classes virtually, so that because we have kids attending by town. So that's worked out really well. The lunches, though, have become an issue. And we also had a little bit of a timing issue with the elementary run. So we are going to adjust the dismissal time at the secondary schools a little bit. And we are not going to have formal lunch periods. So we have very few kids that are eating anyway, but we are going to have lunch to grab and go on their way out. That will take away one of the issues that we have with kids crowding, and it's just been very difficult to manage that at the secondary level. So it'll resolve the bus issue. It takes care of lunches. The kids are actually going to gain some instructional time because we won't offer the lunch. We are dismissing a little bit early to take care of the elementary, the tightness of that run. And we're able to add a couple of minutes to the classes, to each of the classes that they're in the morning, even though they're getting out earlier. What they're missing is the lunchtime. The teachers will have their lunch when the kids are dismissed, followed by their office hours. So everything will remain in play. The only difference is that lunch will happen after the kids are done. So that's really the only change that we've had to make. Everything else, lots of positive comments, lots of positive feedback from the parents, and many of them changing their decision to have their children come to in-person learning at the elementary school. So that's a positive sign for us as well.
Excellent. Anybody have any questions or comments? Cheryl?
Yeah, regarding the lunches. So do you just eliminate that? What was it, about 20 minutes approximately?
It's a 25-minute lunch period.
Do they get, what if the kids, like, I can't go that long without eating. What if the kids are really, do they have some type of a break where they can just like grab a snack or drink or?
They do regularly.
Okay.
But we don't, we're monitoring what's happening during lunch, and the kids are saying, you know, I'm going to go home and I'm going to have lunch when I get home. So it's really just been a block of time for them to congregate and socialize. And you can't really blame them for it, you know, but it's harder to manage that way when they're not sitting and eating for some of that 25-minute period. So this way we actually add some instructional minutes. The kids that need lunch can still have it, and it works out pretty well.
So, and then my other question was, I know there's a October, I don't know if it was a 14th or 15th date by the governor. Are you planning, depending on how it goes, I know you've only been in for 1 week, are you planning on having the kids in fully both towns at some point, just seeing how it goes? Like,
so the governor's announcement has been misunderstood by a lot of people.
Okay.
Because it was not very clear. And we've talked to the governor about it, and I think she's tried to correct the statement, but there's still a lot of confusion about that. So we actually, you know, at the elementary school, all of the kids are in every day. That's K through 6, all kids invited every day. At the secondary schools, our full reentry plan is the current plan.
Oh, okay.
And that's because the kids are not able to be potted. You know, they can't stay in stable groups at the secondary level. And so, yes, they're wearing masks, but they're not in pods. And so we want to maximize the social distancing, which with full classes, we can't do. A lot of the classrooms are too small for that. So at the current time, our full reentry plan is the current plan. It's the hybrid model, which is the case in many high schools in the state. But when the governor talked about October 14th, full reentry, what she was talking about was districts kind of phasing in the full return of the elementary kids, because there are a lot of schools that were struggling with doing all of the grade levels at one time. We just bit the bullet and did it all at once, but many schools kind of slowed down the process, and they started with K and 1 students, and then they're inviting grades 2 and 3 students. My son, for example, is still on distance learning. His grade level has not been invited back yet. So that's really what she was referring to, that she gave permission for that to happen, but we didn't take advantage of it. We didn't see the need for it. Unless
it's something happens really, really positive, you anticipate this will be this way for the time being.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
Cheryl, you're all set?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Member Donovan?
Thank you. I just wanted to say, this reentry plan and the scheduling has just been such an intricate orchestration. And, I just think it's been incredible what you and the staff have been able to accomplish, and how that has relieved a lot of the concerns and apprehensions of the families. I think it's been a great experience for most, and the positivity that you conveyed when you interviewed with Channel 10, just a tremendous reflection on the district, and I'm very appreciative of all those efforts. And I wanted to ask, I know in the beginning, the very beginning of each school year, before the students come to class, you have, an assembly with all of the professional staff. Were you able to do that this year?
From my front porch of my house.
Yeah.
We did a virtual orientation day. We did all of the same, the celebrations of successes. We named the teachers of the year, the support professionals. We did really all of the same things, but we did it on a really huge Zoom meeting. And then I actually ran the professional development session that was immediately following that, and we looked at the issue of equity, both in terms of special education and racial equity. That was the topic that we addressed. Full staff, Council 94 and certified. We followed that day with another virtual professional development day, and then we brought everybody in for some in-person professional development. And then we ended the 7 days with some more virtual opportunities. So we did kind of a combination of both. We did not want to lose, or I did not want to lose, the orientation experience. We just had to deliver it differently. So when I do my status report in the next month, I'll do the outline that I typically give you with, who the winners were and what the celebrations were and that kind of thing.
Great. That's good. I always look forward to that. And I'm glad you were able to still accomplish that, especially the recognitions. Thank you.
Anyone else have any comments or questions? I don't see any more hands. Okay, Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will go to unfinished business, capital project update, bond discussion. Mr. Ross.
So, capital project update. Martone is finished at Metcalf School, so that's the safety around the doors. If you were to go there and look at the work they did, you would be hard pressed to see what they actually accomplished because it blends in perfectly. But they completed their work, and that will help with some of our safety requirements and observations that Chief Ramsey brought up over a year ago regarding those classrooms, the entryway to those classrooms. So that work is done. The boiler at Wawaloon, ATC continues to do a great job over there. They've got the boiler installed, completely assembled. They're waiting to get the breech, which is the exhaust, out of the building. They're waiting for that fabrication and then the install on that. The ancillary equipment, the pumps and the control panels are in place, and I envision that we'll probably start the commissioning agent shakedown of the system probably within a week or so. So that's the capital projects, all very positive. The bond project, the stage 2 submittal was and stage 1 submittal was completed and submitted on September 15th by Toronto Architects and Lewis's team. And the certified memorializing resolutions for the by the town councils and the school committee have been sent to the bond council at Loch Lord, and they're forwarding it on to the legislative committee. So we're moving forward. So, and thanks,
Okay.
Andrew, for pointing us to Karen Grande. She's a pro, so she's moving things along for us. So
My pleasure, Bob. She's fantastic. So you're in good hands.
yeah. So we're moving along.
Excellent. Okay, questions, comments? I have Member McFadden, your hand is up.
Yep. On the Wallalome thing, Bob, when do you expect that thing to be completed, since it's now the 22nd? When do you think the furnace is going to be really done?
Yeah, I mean, we had initially thought the middle of October. I don't think that's unrealistic. I hope we beat it, just simply because they're ahead of the timeline. We thought that the some of the ancillary equipment wasn't gonna be in until the end of the month. And they'd be rushing to, get it in place by by the middle of October, which, again, I'll just hold on that date and hopefully we'll do better.
When I was over there and I left her a message, I made the observation that the fans were on the lower part of the windows. Did you feel that was appropriate?
You mean
That was-
the classroom fans?
Yeah.
We moved from the boiler to the classroom fans now? Yeah. I mean, that's DOH guidance. Steve Bailey, Facilities Director, and his team are following the DOH guidance, so.
No, I think my observation was there any possibility of them being on the top part of the window? Because on the lower half, it's going to be blowing on their heads, right? That was my comment to you.
Yeah.
So there's two halves of the window?
Yeah,
Top, bottom.
unfortunately, the only part that opens is the bottom part of the window,
Is that right? Okay.
so.
You got to do what you got to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Everybody's good? Okay, thanks, Bob. Okay, we have important dates and meetings. So we have October 13th school committee meeting and October 27th school committee meeting. And we do not have executive session tonight. Jim, you got anything, any comments? You're all good. You're muted.
I should have said this earlier. You know that we lost all of our recess assistants to leaves of absence, and one of them took one of the COVID relief positions that we created, COVID support positions for cleaning and sanitizing. We've done the interviews for the vacancies, and so those people will be ready to start before the next school committee meeting, but we need to get people in to help supervise during lunch and recess. So we're actually going to have them start and then bring them for appointment. Hopefully they'll be approved, but the appointment can be retroactive to their start date. I just didn't want to surprise anybody with that, but given our timeline, I don't know what else to do.
Okay, yep, that sounds fine. Okay, we're all set. I want to thank everybody for cooperating with the housekeeping rules. It does make for a much better, I think, efficiently run meeting. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so we just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Well,
Okay,
then second.
We have Member Kissinger moved, Member Gardner seconded. Okay, we'll take our roll call vote. Member Kissinger,
Aye.
Member Donovan,
Aye.
Member Green,
Aye.
Member Allen,
Aye.
Member McFadden,
Aye.
Member Gardner,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank
Thank you, you too.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Sorry about my son jumping in.
That's all right.
Loved it.
If I knew how to shut that thing off, I would do it, but I have no idea how to shut it off. I
I
really
didn't know you could talk through that thing.
neither did I.
Gets more and more precious.
Yep, he's a doll
Have a good night.
too.
Two.